Hello and welcome to episode 1 of Cold Waters. Now I know I've done a couple playthroughs of the 1984 and the 2000 campaign before. However, the difference this time is that we have the dot mod. The dot mod is one of the two major mods, dot mod and epic mod. I definitely recommend you try both. I prefer dot over epic, but it adds a lot more weapon types. It kind of changes some balancing. For example, the submarines can dive deeper, weapons have different acquisition arcs, that kind of stuff. So I want to go ahead and play through it because I think it makes the campaign a much more enjoyable experience. So we'll go ahead, we're going to do our 2000 South China Sea campaign again, this time with a new captain. This time with Captain Archie Parker. But we'll go ahead and jump in. And so you can see, if we find... Oh, yeah, another major thing with this mod, you can play surface vessels. This playthrough will not be with surface vessels, however I do intend to do a surface vessel playthrough later on. But we will once again be going for the Seawolf. And you can see that this time the max depth is nearly 2,000 feet, whereas in the base game I think it was about 1,500–1,600. It's got a couple of things that have been rebalanced, such as towed arrays actually being used. But we'll be taking the Seawolf class nuclear attack submarine. Alright, and as Captain Archie Parker takes command, I will skip through these because these are believed the same articles you get in the base game, so you're more than welcome to read through them just by pausing the video. Alright, anyways, so as Captain Archie Parker takes command of his vessel in this time of war in the South China Sea, we get our first series of orders. This is to eliminate an enemy wolf pack of attack submarines operating 200 miles southeast of Tokyo. Another thing with the dot mod is that your crew actually has proficiency in certain things. So you can see right now overall crew proficiency is regular. We have no crew experience, fire control, torpedo men, damage control, navigation. So for this, interestingly enough, as you sink more stuff, you get more experience and your crew gets more bonuses essentially. The torpedoes will reload faster, decoys will reload faster, you'll make less noise, all sorts of good stuff. We'll go ahead and take a look at our armaments though, and we'll go ahead 100% and ditch those harpoons and just replace them with bog standard torpedoes. Other than that, I think we look good, so we'll go ahead and cast off. So this blip up here we just saw is gonna be, here we go. That's gonna be our wolf pack of submarines trying to blockade ships into Tokyo. So we'll go ahead, see if we can't run into them. Oh, there they are. We'll just keep going along this line. There we go. Alright. Sonar's picked up a new contact bearing 253 designated Sierra 1. Close to 25,000 yards, all hands man battle stations.
On sonar, lost contact.
Alright, I think we've been detected.
Make turns for 0 knots. Maneuvering eye.
We'll go ahead and slow all the way down.
Make turns for 0
Then accelerate time.
Maneuvering eye.
I can guarantee you those are both the subs we're looking for.
Designated Sierra 2. Con sonar new contact bearing 221. Designated
Kind of doing a little cheat here, so 3 is going to be a merchant, 1 and 2 are going to be targets. We'll open our guide, see if we can't identify these subs. This one looks like it's a song,
Sierra 1
which would match up with what we're looking for, as is the other one, I think. Yeah, that second line is maybe not quite a line, but it's close enough for me. But we'll go ahead and send out 1 torpedo.
Shoot 2-1, aye sir.
We'll send it over towards Sierra 1. See, if nothing else, if we just can't get a reaction
Con
out of them.
sonar, Sierra 2 is cavitating.
Con, fire control, weapon acquired.
For example, one of the big things you can see is just how much wider this cone is, this acquisition cone. But we'll go ahead and switch the torpedo to active. There we go. Looks like it dived down a little deeper than we expected.
Con sonar, noisemaker bearing.
But we'll
2,
guide the
3,
torpedo
9.
into the target.
Con sonar, noisemaker bearing. 2, 3, 6.
Steer left and on. Kind of guide the torpedo in. And impact.
Con sonar, lost contact. Sierra,
One sub
last
down.
Bearing, 2, 3, 4. Contact breaking up.
Weapons fired tube 2 bearing 203.
Shoot, tube 2. Aye, sir.
We'll go ahead and send this out after the other song.
Tube 1 ready.
Tube 1 has been reloaded. Excellent. But looks like the second song is kind of making a run for it. That's alright. I think our torpedo will have plenty of time to catch up. Also looks like he's keeping pretty steady. We'll go to active search.
Con sonar, noisemaker bearing 209.
Con, fire control, weapon
There you go.
acquired.
Weapon has acquired.
Con sonar, noisemaker bearing 212.
We'll once again guide this torpedo in manually. Fortunately, your maneuvers will not be enough for you, song.
Con sonar, lost contact. Sierra 2, last bearing 212. Contact breaking up.
We'll go ahead and reload tube 2. Make sure that torpedo is all the way loaded.
Con, torpedo room, tube 2 ready.
I think that's probably everything, but just to make sure, we'll go ahead and pop active
Switching to
sonar.
active search.
And I think perhaps most importantly, we're not getting anyone pinging us back, so that should
Con
be it.
sonar, switching to
So we'll go
passive
ahead
search.
and secure from battle stations. Yep, sunk 2 enemy vessels for 4,500 tons, but we did also gain 18,000 experience. And of course, Sinpack is very happy that we were able to complete our objective and allow the convoys to once again enter Tokyo. Once again, I think all these are the same as the vanilla game. If you'd like to read them, you're more than welcome to pause the video and read through them. Alright, our next orders from COM, let's see. Enemy commandos are going to attempt to land within the vicinity of Taipei. We're ordered to intercept and sink the vessel. You can also see now that with our crew gaining some experience, we've now gained the level. We've gone up to level 1, and we're now regular. You can see that that first level looks like it was put into navigation, which has reduced the amount of signal noise we get from being underway and also increased our radar range by 1 kilometer. So yeah, that appears to be it. Excellent. So, gonna attempt to land up here at Taipei, eh? We do also have this enemy group right here, which we're actually gonna go ahead and intercept. Sonars picked them up, bearing 79, designated the first 101.
Con sonar.
We'll go ahead, back emergency,
Turns for 0 knots.
and drop the 0.
Make turns for 0 knots. Maneuvering eye.
We'll pop open our reference book and our signature from the sonar and see what exactly it is we're looking at here. None of those are quite accurate. Ah, Victor 3.
Sonar,
That looks
1
about
is
right.
Classified as submerged submarine.
And then this I'm actually gonna say is probably a whale. No, it's not. Well, let's take a look at the subs then. Oh, I'm going to
Con
say it's a
sonar,
Han. I
Sierra
can't see
2
that
is
line
classified as submerged
on the
submarine.
far right. Weapons, shoot tube 1 bearing 152.
Shoot tube 1. Aye, sir.
Shoot tube 2 bearing 153.
Shoot tube 2. Aye, sir.
We'll go ahead and dogleg these torpedoes. Basically get them in front, dogleg them back. That way, when they fire torpedoes on a reciprocal bearing, they won't be shot at us. They'll be shot kind of out in the middle of nowhere. And with a submarine that close, we're gonna go ahead and flip it around now.
Con sonar, launch transient from Sierra 1.
I think he shot directly back at the torpedo, like I said he would. He sure did.
Con sonar, noisemaker bearing 088. Con sonar, noisemaker bearing 091.
Looks like the torpedo's acquired. Steering in. And impact.
Con sonar, lost contact. Sierra 1, last bearing 093. Contact breaking up.
And that's a Victor 3 sent to the bottom. Reload tube 1 with Mark 48. And we'll go ahead and see if we can't find this
Con,
Han.
torpedo room, tube 1 ready.
Han's moving a little erratically now. There it is. I'll go ahead and move tube 2 up towards it, and you can see we still have quite a lot of runtime. I think the dot mod also adds some extra runtime to the torpedoes, which I'm always more than happy to have. We'll set the weapon sensor to active.
Con sonar, Sierra 1 is cavitating.
Our torpedo looks like it's completely ignored the decoy, except that time it got fooled, but reacquired, and it got fooled that time. Oop, sorry for the camera there.
Con, fire control, weapon acquired.
Con sonar, noisemaker.
We're just gonna have to go ahead and guide this
080.
thing in manually. We'll come around, bring it in, even it out, and steer it in.
Con sonar, lost
Impact.
contact. Sierra 2, last bearing 081. Contact breaking up.
And that's another sub headed to the bottom. We'll put another Mark 48 in tube 2.
Con, torpedo room, tube
And with
2
that,
ready.
we'll go ahead and leave this combat. Sunk those two submarines for 12,750 tons. Still have plenty of torpedoes left. Also, gained 51,000 experience. That's the kind of experience we want to have. Of course, that was not our mission target, but any chance we can get to eliminate another enemy group is a good day, or a good chance in my book. And here comes another one. Sonar's picked them up, bearing 69, designates Sierra 1. We'll go ahead, hop in again, make turns for 0 knots.
Turns for 0 knots. Maneuvering eye. Con. Make turns for 0 knots. Maneuvering eye.
And we'll go ahead, fire tube 1, bearing 111.
Shoot tube 1. Aye, sir.
Go ahead and start doglegging that torpedo immediately. So I have no doubt that Sierra 1 is what we're looking for.
Con sonar, launch transient from Sierra 1. Con
And
sonar, Sierra
active
1
sensor.
is classified as submerged submarine.
Just past
Con
the
sonar,
enemy
noisemaker
torpedo.
bearing
We'll steer the
077.
torpedo back on target.
Con sonar, noisemaker bearing 079. Con
And
sonar,
impact.
lost contact. Sierra 1, last bearing 081. Contact breaking up.
Reload tube 1.
Con sonar,
Sierra 4 is also a
classified
Han.
as submerged submarine.
Fire tube 2, bearing 017.
Tube 2. Aye, sir.
I think both 2 and 3 are likely to be merchant vessels. We picked up a second Han. After we've doglegged this torpedo enough, we'll go ahead and send the torpedo in. Actually, we'll start doing that now, because we're so far off the angle the torpedo will be coming in at. I feel confident that we can start bringing it in. I think they just found the torpedo. We'll set the weapon sensor to active. And it looks like he's gonna try and outrun it. Unfortunately for him, I don't think he'll be able to do that.
Con, fire control, weapon acquired.
Indeed, weapon acquired, and it is catching up.
Con sonar, noisemaker, bearing 0, 7,
First
6.
noisemaker, it completely ignored.
Con sonar,
The second
noisemaker,
one,
bearing 0,
it did not,
7,
but
7.
we'll steer this thing in. And
Con
impact.
sonar, lost contact. Sierra 4, last bearing 0, 7, 7. Contact breaking up.
With that, that's 2 more enemy submarines sent to the bottom. We'll reload Tube 2 with a Mark 48.
Con, torpedo room, tube 2 ready.
And go ahead and leave that combat. There's another 2 enemy vessels sunk for 11,000 tons, 44,000 experience. We will continue. Now I did get spotted by that patrol, which isn't great because that means we're going to have ships and subs swarming all over us. But I want to see if we can catch these subs coming in supposedly to drop commandos off in Taipei. I don't see them here yet. We're going to stick close to the island, avoid that flight. This will be them here. I'll try and get them to run into me. Nope, not possible, so we're going to have to go to the shallows. All hands man battle stations and immediately back emergency.
Make turns for 0 knots. Maneuvering eye.
It actually looks like we may
Con
be in
sonar,
deep
new
water
contact
here.
Bearing 2, 1.
Make depth
We'll make depth 400.
feet, dive by.
Con sonar, new contact bearing 2, 5, 8. Designated Sierra 3.
Picked up a few vessels. Sierra 4 is definitely a sub. Sierra 2 is a merchant. Sierra 3 is a merchant. Sierra 1's probably also a merchant. So just Sierra 4 is what we want. Weapons, fire tube 1 bearing 242.
Shoot 2-1, aye sir.
Con, dive at 400 feet, dive by.
Actually, we'll
Con
go
sonar,
ahead,
lost contact.
reload
Sierra 4,
tubes
last bearing
5
2,
and 6
8,
with Moss,
0. Contact
and
faded.
reload tube 7 and 8 with anti-ship missiles. I should have done that a long time ago. Normally I do.
Con
This time
sonar,
I
new
just
contact
kind
bearing
of forgot,
2,
honestly.
9, 7. Designated Sierra 5. Con
Yep,
sonar,
2 is a
Sierra
merchant.
2 is classified as merchant.
Sierra 5 is running.
Con, torpedo room, tube 7 ready. Con,
And there's
torpedo
tube
room.
8.
Con sonar, Sierra 3 is classified as merchant. Con sonar,
Ah, there
Sierra
it is.
5
Ming.
classified as submerged submarine.
We'll get the torpedo from the baffles. That way it shouldn't pick up anything until it's, well, too late.
Con, fire control, weapon acquired.
Con sonar.
And now we'll
noisemaker
switch it to
bearing
active.
306. Con sonar, new contact bearing 306. Designated Sierra 6.
And impact. Ming down, reload tube 1. And it's sitting on the
Con,
bottom.
torpedo room, tube 1 ready.
We'll go ahead and go to
Con
active
sonar,
search.
switching to active search. Con sonar, launch transient from Sierra 6. Con sonar.
Ah, so we've
Sierra
got 2
4
more
is
subs out
classified
there.
as submerged submarine.
Shoot tube 1 bearing 303.
2-1, aye sir.
Shoot tube 2 bearing 275.
Shoot 2-2, aye.
Con sonar, launch transient from Sierra 4.
Make depth 1,800 feet.
Make depth 1800 feet, dive by.
For no other reason than I think we have the depth.
Con sonar, launch transient from Sierra 4.
I don't know if that's a bottom or not. I legitimately can't tell.
Less than 50 feet below the keel.
That would be a yes. Alright, so we're at what depth? Alright, so we'll just have to go to 1150.
Make depth 1150 feet, dive by. Con, dive Dive at 1150 feet. Dive by.
We'll have to go passive while these torpedoes
Con
pass
sonar.
over.
Launch transient from Sierra 4.
Con, fire control, weapon.
Con sonar. Noisemaker bearing 2. Con sonar. Torpedo in the water. Torpedo in the water.
Torpedoes
bearing
locked
3,
on.
0, 1.
We'll fire off a Moss towards
Shoot
our
2-5.
right.
Aye, sir.
Set set 1 on active
Con
after
sonar.
the second
Noisemaker
kilo.
bearing 2, 7,
That's 1
2.
sub down.
Con, torpedo room, tube 5
We'll
ready.
pop a decoy.
Flooding in the torpedo room.
And of course we get hit anyways.
Damage control party.
We're going to immediately emergency blow, because this water is
Damage
going
control
to
margin.
weigh
Yeah,
us
torpedo
down
room.
otherwise. We'll reload tube 2.
Con, fire.
And we need to make turns for
Turn.
everything we
Charging
can.
high pressure air banks after emergency blow. Unable to dive.
That's fine. We need to go
Passing
up.
1100 feet.
Make sure we don't sink.
Con sonar lost contact. Sierra 3.
Passing 1000 feet.
Con, fire control, we've lost.
Con sonar lost.
Reload
Passing
tube
900
1.
feet. Passing 800 feet. Passing 700 feet.
Doesn't look like it.
Passing
We're
600
going up
feet.
fast.
Passing 500 feet.
Con sonar. We are cavitating.
8 turns for 15
Passing
knots.
300 feet.
Con sonar. No longer cavitating.
But
Con
we're gonna
sonar,
surface
regain
anyways
contact
because
on.
of how the
Passing
emergency
100
blow
con
works.
Sonar. We are cavitating.
So we'll make turns for 0
Con sonar.
knots.
Torpedo in the water. Torpedo in the water. Bearing 283.
And we'll fire off a Moss
2-6. Aye, sir.
to our right.
Con sonar regained contact on Sierra 1. Bearing 255. Con sonar regained contact on Sierra 3. Bearing 278.
Looks like most of the torpedoes we managed to avoid, but there's a couple, including one right next to us, which...
Con sonar. Noisemaker
Oh,
bearing
now it looks like torpedoes
309.
deviated down towards the other Moss, which is
Con,
what we want.
torpedo room, tube 6 ready.
Alright, plot a course bearing 116.
Come left to 116. Helm I.
Looks like you managed to
Con,
fend off
high
all of
pressure
the...
air banks charge complete. Ready to dive.
Excellent.
Con sonar. Noisemaker bearing
That
3,
Kilo's fighting
0,
for his
7.
life, though. Let's make it a little harder for him here in a second. We are actually going to plot a course directly towards him, bearing
Come
298.
right to
Make turns for 5
turns
knots.
4, 5 knots. Maneuvering I.
Fire tube 1, bearing 298.
Shoot 2-1. Aye, sir.
Con sonar. Noisemaker bearing 306.
We're just gonna
Con
ensure
sonar,
Mr.
noisemaker
Kilo here
bearing
heads for the
3,
bottom.
05. Con sonar. Noisemaker bearing 30. Con helm. Steady
Oh,
course.
looks like the torpedo got him. He's headed down to the bottom. Well, with that, if we can, we can't quite, we have weapons nearby still. But one thing we will do is set depth to 100 feet.
Make depth 100 feet. Dive by.
So we have enough integrity for that. And
Con,
we're able to
dive
control
at
flooding.
100 feet.
We're
Dive
not
by.
losing any more depth. The torpedo's locked on, it's just gonna hit him and dissipate. That's fine. We'll reload tube 1
Con, torpedo room, tube 1 ready.
and leave combat. Sunk 2 enemy kilos, 1 Ming for 10,010 tons, gained 40,440 experience, increased our crew proficiency, and command is very happy we were able to eliminate the enemy submarines and the commandos they were taking. And we'll go once more, and we're ordered to return, so we will go ahead and do that. Due to the damage we sustained. That is another thing I do like about the dot mod, speaking about that. You get orders to replenish a lot more. I think it's a lot more realistic with when you take damage or when you are low on weapons or that kind of stuff. You actually get orders to return to your base a lot more, which I definitely like. But we returned back to our home port in Guam with 5 days at war, 2 missions accomplished, and 38,260 tons sunk, all of submarines, funnily enough. But that's where we'll go ahead and end it for today. Thank you so much for watching. Please make sure you hit the like button if you like watching the video. If you want to see more videos in the future, hit the subscribe button. Also, make sure you leave a comment in the comment section down below. I hope you have a great rest of your day, and bye-bye.